Welcome back. The collapse of crypto, Musk's twists and turns with Twitter, developments in artificial intelligence, streaming wars, and the promises of the metaverse. It certainly has been a roller coaster of a year in the world of tech. Well, joining me to discuss it all is tech journalist Chris Stokel-Walker. Thanks for coming on the programme. Now, you're spoiled for choice. So which stories stood out for you this year?
I think that we have to probably go to the immediate, which was Elon Musk's takeover of Twitter. That's taken over the last 2 months, but really has been rumbling on since April. The $44 billion takeover has completely overhauled the website, and with it, the sort of entirety of social media, because Musk is redrawing the platform in his own image. And I think that has huge ramifications, not just for 2022, but also beyond into 2023, because this job is only half done as far as he sees it. The idea of recasting Twitter as a free speech absolutist website, something that many people disagree with. But I think that is potentially the biggest tech story of the year that saw a huge number of tech stories happening.
But 22 was also supposed to be the year of the metaverse, was it?
No, to be short, it wasn't. It wasn't, and I don't think 2023 will be either. So, of course, if we cast our minds back maybe this time last year, people like me were coming on TV programmes to forecast that 2022 might be the year of the metaverse. Mark Zuckerberg, the owner of Facebook, was all behind it, rebranded the company to name it Meta as an indication of quite how much he believed in this, was willing to spend billions of dollars and hoped that he could get 1 billion people into the metaverse by the end of the decade. What we've seen, I think, with the metaverse is a lot of hype, not so much of the actual end product, and that's in part because of the technology behind it. It still requires an awful lot of processing power, an awful lot of good internet connection, and we don't necessarily have that. I think this may still be a potential opportunity for the future in 2023. I think what we will see is the advent of Apple producing some sort of augmented reality glasses, which are rumoured potentially to be happening in 2023. And if that does happen, I think you could maybe see the adoption of the metaverse for everybody, maybe 2023, 2024.
Now, from fashion to food to retail, artificial intelligence has been booming across creative sectors. What do you think the story is there for the year ahead?
I think that it's one of real promise. We've kind of seen this rumbling over the last 12 months of new innovations in artificial intelligence, whether it's the idea of a program called Mid-Journey, where you type in some text and you get images as a result of it, whether it's ChatGPT, which is the latest development that we've seen in the last few weeks, where essentially you can have a whole conversation with an artificial intelligence robot. I think that is a real promise. And I think that we're starting to see businesses being built off the back of this, particularly ChatGPT, where people are integrating that into their business plans. They're actually also using it to draw up business plans. And what's most exciting, I think, about the advent of artificial intelligence is the fact that it's getting better. This has been something that has been promised for a long time, but it's something that hasn't ever really lived up to the hype because of the understanding and the issues that artificial intelligence has. However, ChatGPT really was a big step up there, and what's more, we know that OpenAI, the San Francisco-based company behind it, which was set up in part by Elon Musk, has plans for a new generation of artificial intelligence called GPT-4, which we believe will be coming out in 2023. That could be a real game changer. It could take all of the stuff that we've seen so far in 2022 and really blow it out of the water and make it seem very outdated and, frankly, a little bit basic.
Netflix, Tencent, Amazon, Disney, the streaming sector. Let's talk about that, because it's become more and more competitive. But do you think investors are losing patience with all the losses?
I think so. I think that we're seeing huge amounts of money being ploughed into these platforms. You look at Netflix, for instance, and the idea of a blockbuster series and the amount of money that costs to produce. And there's a recognition, I think, amongst streaming services that, frankly, they're losing money. They're not recouping their outlay for these productions through their subscriptions. And that's more and more of an issue, particularly given the cost of living crisis that is hitting and frankly the entire world, and the idea of subscription fatigue, the fact that you have maybe one of your favourite programmes on one streaming service, another on another, and the idea that you have to pay 2, 3, 4 times in order to see what you want is pushing people into piracy. Netflix are kind of leading the way with this. They've recognised that 100 million households worldwide use a password that isn't theirs, an account that isn't theirs, to access their service, so they're starting to change that. They're offering, in some Latin American countries, a trial where you can pay maybe a couple of dollars to add extra users, and I think that that may do something to try and help convince investors that actually this is still a going concern. This is still something they can put money into because they can monetize those users that maybe previously had been turning to piracy.
Lots more to talk about. Chris Stokel-Walker, thank you very much.